Hello everybody, it's Catherine and welcome to Journal Thursday, and we're working a bit more on the I couldn't think then, Japanese journal. Tell you what I did mean to do, I meant to take my nail varnish off. Look at it, it's had it already. It's a good job it's only me doing it. It's had it already with Fabri-Tac. Anyway, excuse that, I meant to do it and I didn't. So I'm really pleased actually. All those that didn't have faith, oh ye of little faith, in the hot mess that became something quite nice, I think. So I decided I didn't want it as a dangle. I decided that it would be part of the cover, and I'm really pleased with it. I've done a bit of weaving through with some of this purple thread that's going to be inside. I've put an assortment of beads that I felt went with the colourways on here, and I think that will look really smart if we imagine our signatures. Oops, all my things are getting stuck. Our signatures in there. Look how nice that's looking, I think. Starting to do some more just plain sashiko in black. Then this is the spine, so that'll be out a bit more once the signatures are in it. I'm going to do some seed stitching, I think, on there, and then this is the back, and I think this is sort of tying the front and back together. I may well do another little piece. I may do another. Let me just cut a chunk off. Let me get this. Let me just see. I may do just a little, just to tie that in there. Yeah, I'm not going to start messing and doing stuff with it. I shall just weave it down, and I think that will, because by the time I've done some more sashiko stitching around here, that I like that. I'm going to pin it on. Just take it up to there, take it up to there. And I think I will weave through it to couch it down, as it were, in between the big weaves, with something that goes colour-wise. So yeah. And then I think once that's all filled in, that'll be lovely. It's a bit over the top, but it's a Japanese journal and it's something a bit different. And then I think here, just to tie it in, we only need the smallest bit, I think. Yeah, I think so. Don't think it's... No, I think it needs to be there. So we'll just tie that in there. Get a pin. And I think then that will look really, really good. So I am pleased, and it just shows that, you know, you can make a really lovely, unusual textile piece with just that burlap that started disintegrating on me. So got much more to do. I'm not going to overfill this one. It's got all my lovely paint chips down. The ephemera I have done, I think is going to be it, more or less. I've started making some journal cards with the lovely fabric. That I got from Viking Loom. And, you know, I've got a few bits and bobs that I've done. So I'm happy that I think that's going to be more than plenty. So what I want to do now is I've got some small pieces of, let's move that over there. I've got some small pieces of fabric and I haven't got any of my ribbon ties to go with this journal. I haven't got, so I've decided that I'm going to use some gold ones because I've got my gold hardware on it, and some of these are gold as well. So I'm going to make some so that then I can I'm going to clip things that aren't in pockets. I'm going to clip them, so actual fact we've got these going down the sides and then we'll have some ribbon ties at the top. So yeah, I want to use the same sort of fabric that's in the journal. So yeah, so today I'm just going to make some of those. We might even put a few, well actually no, I didn't ought to put the ephemera in, did I, because I need to sew it first. So with these, sometimes I will just tie a knot in them like that, and they are really effective as they are. Now this I need to put a bit thinner. Oh, well, some of it, you know, it doesn't want to be cut, does it? So yeah, so I hope you're all good. Yesterday it was lovely, and there's some lakes not far from here, quarter of an hour from here, Wycombe Lakes, and we know they're there but we've never been. They're turning it into it's a bit of a nature reserve really, and they're turning it into a water park centre as well, and I like this raggedy bit. So there's a fishing lake there, and then they're doing water skiing and paddle boats and canoeing, kayaking. We've never been, so we thought we would go. And this is the case, isn't it, often? You know, there's these lovely, beautiful places not far from where you actually live, and you've never been, so we went. It was wonderful. It was wonderful. The only thing that was it's a good job that the mobile groomers is coming to Nelson today, because I don't know if it's just cockapoos or old dogs seem to have a bit of an affinity for finding poop from geese and things and wanting to roll in it. I think I caught him mostly, but it's a good job he's having. So as you can hear, there were geese, and it was lovely. A fantastic place to go. They've got like a zip wire board skiing. So you knew you were safe. You were like attached to this zip wire with a harness. And instead of like a water ski, you had this board. I think it still must take some, but I'm not a great one with water. I can swim, but I'm not brilliant at it. You know, I'm a bit anxious. Yeah, I thought, oh, I'd love to have a go at that. Love to have a go at that. It looked fun. So we enjoyed that, and Nelson had a good run about, and you have to keep your dogs on a lead, but yeah. And then there's a pub that's on the way back from there that had closed down. It's had many owners. It's a lovely pub. and it didn't have much of an outdoor space. Now, I'm not happy, neither of us are happy to be going inside pubs to eat or whatever. We just don't feel comfortable with that. But outside, you know, plenty of space and you're not on top of each other. Anyway, it was so hot, and they'd redone it all outside, the new owners, and it looked gorgeous. So we said, oh, I said to David, I could just drink a beer, a shandy or something, just nice and cooling, and it'll be safe enough outside. Well, we did. It was glorious. It felt like a bit of normal life was coming back. It was great. So anyway, so we had, so we like real ale. So David won't drink and drive. Well, neither of us will drink and drive. So we like had half of I had a shandy, half of real ale. And then of course when you get that, and everybody they were bringing all this lovely food out for everybody, and you then fancy eating, don't you? So we didn't go mad. I had some cheesy chips, and David had a cheese sandwich, just to sit outside. Wasn't too busy. It was well spaced out. There was only 3 other couples eating, and it was marvellous. It just a little taste of normality coming back, it was, whilst we felt, you know, safe. So we enjoyed that. And as I say, Nelson is the mobile dog groomer's coming, so that's a couple of hours with. Then I've got some work to do for my health and well-being, teacher's well-being course that I've got a study day next week. So it's quite busy. And then some friends of ours, they live in Sheffield in South Yorkshire, and see, they're simple enough, but they look nice. They have a caravan, touring caravan, and they come up to a campsite near us. They come up, it's not too far, it's only about 3 hours, 2.5 hours from South Yorkshire, but it's nice for them to come and stay. It's more in the countryside than the seaside where it is. And they're having they've invited us to go up and sit outside with them around, and they're doing a barbecue. So that will be nice to have a catch up. They've had a hard time, you know. Her husband was in shielding. Actually, I did we did our pre-nursing. We did our cadet nursing together, Sharon and I, and so 1976 we met, and she still works. She's part retired, semi-retired, that's the word, not part, semi-retired, but bless her, she contracted COVID at the beginning of the year, and was hospitalised, so she was quite poorly, and really she's still recovering. She's sort of got more long COVID now, you know, and it just makes you sad, doesn't it, because, you know, 40 years she's given to the health service, and they're not being altogether kind to her. They're not being altogether kind to her because she's off sick. And I know they're doing a marvellous job, but it's not the health service that we knew from 40 years ago. And yeah, things have changed for the better, but also I think there's a lot that's changed for the worse. And one of them is not looking after their own staff. And I think this is going to be the problem, you know, because I think that once we get into a better state with this pandemic, and it's sort of more like the seasonal flu situation, I think that's when hospital staff are going to go down. I think, you know, there's a lot, especially those that's been on the front line, intensive care, etc. Respiratory specialists, I think they're going to struggle. And I think this is a time when the health service then needs to put together a package to help its own. You shouldn't have to be made feel bad because you're still off sick with long COVID. It just makes me sad, really. And I think that it's going to be struggling, because I think a lot of staff are going to go down. I think there's a lot of mental ill health, not just with the health service, but and this is why hopefully, you know, I'll have got all my qualifications then. You know, as you know, I've already got quite a few in the well-being sector. And, you know, I'm also doing my journaling for teacher's course, to use journaling as a, not treatment, I can't think of the word, but as a resource to help people with the mental health. And I'm hoping that I'll be able to set things up online as well. So for those of you that did want to do any of the stress management stuff, the, you know, the meditation online, all those sorts of things, doesn't matter where you live in the world then, does it? I mean, you know, me and technical things, it's something that, you know, I'd have to work on. And yeah, obviously it's the expense then of the new kit, the camera, etc., and the software and stuff to be able to do it. But it's something that I feel quite passionate about, and I know we're here doing craft. But we all know that craft's a great therapy. We know that it's great just to de-stress. And certainly journaling, whether you know, you do art journaling, writing, collage, whichever you want to do, does help. Right, what else have I got here? One of them. I'll do a bit more of this because it'd be nice to have another couple of these, and then we'll. Ooh, 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 ooh. Goodness. I used to hate listening to things being torn. It's like rubbing nails down a blackboard. But you get used to it, I think, because we get used to, especially if you're journal making, you get used to ripping bits of fabric. Now, sometimes I will do a little bow if it's the right sort of journal, but I don't want all pretty for this. Sometimes I will tie some seam binding round it, or some nice coloured string round it. For example, I've got some green twine here. And it was cut longer. So, you know, and this will go nice with brown. The weather's really muggy here today, yesterday and today. We've had a couple of thunderstorms and that, I thought that had cleared the air, but there's no sun today. But it's muggy, you know, that muggy weather when it's hot and there's very little air, but no sun. Right, so just tie a little bow in there. I always cut too much because I find it hard to tie fiddly little bows. So I'm going to pull that there, and a bit more of that. There we go. I mean, you can then play and fiddle about with this, you know, till your bows are how you want them. And I find this twine string really good because it's quite pliable and you can mould it into a good shape. So that's, you know, that gives you, in fact it goes nice with this journal card. I might keep it with it. Put that on top of a page. I'm going to just snip those off a bit. They're a little bit too tall. But I think that goes, I'm going to put that goes lovely with that. If you want a side one, then you've got, you know, you can cut it down a bit more and you've got a side bow. So these are cute little, I've forgotten I've got these. Well, I hadn't forgotten, I knew I'd got some gold clips, but I haven't looked at them for ages, and aren't they cute shape? That one's going to stay with that one. I like it at the top, I think, better. Yeah, so there we go, just a quick video just to give you a catch up so you knew what had happened to the hot mess turned nice embellishment for my cover. And I'm going to carry on making a few more of these. So really very simple, effective. I've started really, there's a bit my signature now. I have to have these on every journal I make. And you know, you just alter what you put on it, either cotton or ribbon or lace, seam binding, depending on the style of the journal you're doing. And I think they're a nice easy embellishment altered paperclip to use with any journal really. So thank you for joining me today. See you next time. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and take care. Bye for now.